Hi, I'm Mike Glenn, and I'm the president and founder of the Engaged Church Network, and we are glad you have joined us for this podcast. We are especially excited today because my friend BeBe Winans is joining us today, but not for the reason that you might think. As you know, BeBe Winans is Grammy winner, Dove winner, winner. So all of those, whatever you want to point to on your shelf, BeBe has it. Of course, is just a phenomenal singer. And one of the funny things about BeBe that you probably don't know is in our small group, and that's what we're going to talk about. If we get to a particular thing or say a particular phrase, BeBe will break out in song. And so we're all having to learn new songs in this group. Several, maybe a year and a half ago or so now. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while now.
It's been a while.
BeBe and I are talking, and BeBe is like most men, is lonely. Everything on the outside is phenomenal. Career, recognition, fame, all of those things that you write down of here are the things I want in my life. BeBe has them, but he is lonely. So spur of the moment, I say, listen, I got a group that meets of guys at 6:30 tomorrow morning, and won't you join us? So lo and behold, BeBe joins a group of 8 or 9 white young entrepreneurs. And you and I are the old guys in this room. So I tell people all the time, you got to be in a group. You got to be in a group. There's something about discipleship. There's something about obedience. There's something about people there that have your back, that keep you upright in the faith. And so that's what we're going to talk about. BeBe, tell me about joining the group on Wednesday morning.
First of all, I'm glad I didn't dress up. I want to outdress you on your show.
Yes, right.
So I'm glad I didn't dress up. What was the question?
See what I deal with? This is all the time. This happens in Bible study. Tell me about joining the group, Bible study, the group.
Well, first of all, because you invited me, it wasn't like it was an invitation. You told me to come.
Well, I do have that way. I do have that way about me.
Yeah, and I've learned to be obedient most of the time. But when I came, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, because being in the public eye a lot, I enjoy just being by myself.
Right.
I really enjoy being by myself.
That.
And then it's dangerous, or you have to be brave to share your personal life with people you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And because one of the things you try to hold on to is your personal life when you're in the public eye. But after coming, I was just, I was surprised at how I felt. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. And it was not just learning more about who Jesus is and a Bible study, because I've been in Bible studies all my life. But it was just a connection that I was looking for, and didn't know that this group that you invited me to come to was going to fulfill some of the things that I needed.
Such as
accountability, friendships that go deeper than just hello, goodbye.
Right.
When you're with a group of people that really becomes family, right? And as time went on, this group became so much more than just a group of guys.
Right.
But it became a group of people who care about me, and I cared about them. So And then it was laughter. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Those are very important words in my catalog.
Yeah.
If I can't laugh, then I don't need to be there.
Right.
And so that is a medication that we all experience when we come together.
Mm-hmm. It's fun for me to be in a situation where we do serious discipleship work, but we do it in a fun way. Like the night that one of our friends said he needed to pray with his wife, and he wanted to do that but couldn't get started, so we all texted him at 8:00. And so he's sitting with his wife, and his phone blows up, and he has to tell her, "We got to pray now."
We got to pray. I know I never prayed before, but we got to pray today.
We got to pray now.
It's like I wanted to see how his wife was looking at him. I'm like, what happened to you?
Right.
But yes, it's and you learn and I've been in that place before when you first start coming, but as others have joined, they learn, oh, there's safety here.
Right.
And when you feel safe, you start telling more of the truth. Mm-hmm. That facade, you can drop that facade, because a lot of people, I mean, me and my sister, there was a lot of things, we were raised in a Pentecostal church. And so there were things we were taught to say without being told to say, such as when someone says, "How you doing?" "I'm blessed of the Lord."
That's right.
I'm highly favored. And so one day we were on the road and we were going to do an interview, and somebody just stopped and said, "Hi, BeBe and Cece. Hi, Cece. How are you?" And Cece said, "Oh, I'm blessed of the Lord." And I remember turning around to her and said, "Can you just say, I'm fine?" Then the next person you meet, I want you to say, "Oh, I'm doing good." But you realize these are brothers that's going through maybe the same thing I'm going through, or something that I went through.
Right.
And that's the advantage of being old like
right.
us. You can look at them and say, "Oh, you're going to be just fine.
You're going to be fine." That's right. Yeah. I tell people all the time, wisdom means I screwed up before you did. That's all it means.
Remember when I shared the story about my father?
Yeah.
When he was at church and his woman came up to him, she was crying, she didn't know what she's going to do because the electricity went out. And my father said, "Oh, girl, you're going to be fine. Just put your hands out and walk slower." Don't worry about the darkness. Just walk slower. Put your
hands out. Walk slower.
But you are relieved because the enemy says you're alone. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to understand, so don't tell nobody what you're going through. Mm-hmm. But he's a liar.
Yeah.
And so these group of people now have become a sounding board and have been just people I know I can say what I need to say. Mm-hmm. That's freedom there.
Yeah. Now, these guys have become really close. You took a bunch of them to the Apollo Theater.
Yes. And we all went to dinner.
Yeah.
But since I have been with the group, how long now?
That's what I was trying to figure out the other day.
Like,
I don't know. It's
time has passed so well. So long. It's been at least 6 years, maybe more. It really has. But since I joined the group, as I told you and them, I thought I had, okay, God, what's next? Don't have to sing no more. Mm-hmm. And then something happened, and I was like, oh, I thought we had a deal, but the Lord said, "I didn't give you that. I didn't tell you that." And so since I've joined the group, there's been so many reluctant yes out of me to go. Mm-hmm. And so one of those was the Apollo Theater. I hadn't sang a concert, especially at the Apollo Theater, for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And so told the guys, and everybody came. And they were all sitting in the balcony, and I acknowledged my brothers. I said, all the white people in the balcony stand up. And And they stood up. I was cracking up. And give them applause.
Yeah.
But it's been a great time. And a serious time.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, some of our friends have had to go through some tough times.
Yes. And it's just rewarding to, because you get texts sometimes afterwards of how what you said is helping me to go through what I'm going through, And that's important, because now what we have to do, since you have all this, is when, one of us is not present, we can see each other too. And I can call in and y'all can see me running, working out and doing all that.
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but the group met yesterday. Yes. And so BeBe is in Dallas. He calls in while he is jogging.
In mile 5.
At mile 5, and participates in the group while he completes his workout. But I do think that says something about how tight that group has become. That you don't miss it,
and how important it is. And so what I learned in life, if it's important to you, then you will guard it.
Right.
If it's important to you, you will be present, And so I think at one point in time, I think you correct me if I'm wrong, I told some of the members, look, we got all these vacations and stuff. Y'all got to, come together. You going on a golf thing? Let's make this important. And everyone has really, really stepped up to the plate of this is important to us. And it's just good to be around people like that.
Right.
With the same mind, Well,
there's a couple of things. That one, you start going because your brothers need you.
Yeah.
I know I got to be there to see how BeBe's doing. I know this was going on in his life. I got to get an update on how he's doing. The other thing is sooner or later, and BeBe, you and I have lived long enough, everybody gets a turn.
Oh, yes.
And sooner or later, it is your turn. And life will get you.
No matter what.
Yeah, life is going to get you. And so it's just you're going to turn around, you're going to be outgunned and outmanned. And
with Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
And unless you got some brothers who will step in there with you.
Yes. I think you talked about, but I definitely read about how when Moses was older. No, wait a minute. I'm just thinking. Yes, it was Moses. When they lifted up his arm, when his arms was too heavy, he put his arms down, they started losing the battle.
Losing the battle. Mm-hmm.
And they, on each side, they held his hands up, right? And that's what you need through life. You need somebody to hold you up, especially when you're in a battle.
Right.
And so God is blessed with this group that I know is holding my arms up, no matter what. That's just a great thing to know.
Yeah, that there's a handful of people that right now, if I call them, that one, they're going to take the call. And then two, they're going to be there if I say, hey, this is what's going on, they're going to be there.
And what I enjoy is that we come from different places, from different walks. We come from different experiences. We disagree. Some of us are independents. Most of us are Republicans. A sprinkled Democrat.
Yeah.
But how you learn it's okay to be different.
Right. In fact, I'm counting on that. I'm counting on that difference.
Good. That's good. Well, let me ask you why you say that. I think it says something to me.
I'm counting on your perspective. I'm counting to help me see something in a different way. I'm counting on your different experience to encourage me in what I'm going through. I'm counting on the difference.
Yeah.
If everybody's just like me with the same story and all of that, then
it's boring.
That is a sad song. That is a sad
boring
song.
But it's so. If the church could really understand that, we would be so better off. The walls would just crumble that the enemy loves to set up and keep us separated.
Yeah.
But I could teach you truly what it means to be a black man in the country I live in, and even outside of the country. I was in, as you said, Dallas. I was in Dallas, and I enjoy fashion. I've always enjoyed fashion. So I'm in this store, and I walk in this. It's an expensive store, and the guy that works at the store said, "Hi." I said, "Hi. Can I help you find?" I said, "No, I'm just walking around, just looking." And he said, "Okay, so I'm going to walk with you, and anything you want, just let me know, and I'll take it off and put it on the table." You take, like, I can't use my hands to get a shirt off the thing and look at it? And he followed me. He followed me to the point where I said, "You have a nice day. I really don't need nothing in here."
Yeah.
But that's my experience. And I'm charged because of my skin color. Now, it's been my skin color all my life, so I'm used to. But to teach others that haven't been through that experience what it means, it gives them more understanding and more maybe compassion of what other people go through.
Because that has not been part of their life.
Right.
And the times that you have talked to us about, hey, this happened, most of the guys in the group didn't believe you.
Right. It's like, what?
I mean, yeah, that didn't happen.
No, you're BeBe.
Yeah, that's right. One,
and it continues
right
to happen. But I wouldn't change a thing because it's made me who I am.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And taught me that I can love my enemies. I can love those who despitefully you. And you don't do it on your own, but you do that with God's strength and people who lift you up.
Right. And who hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So you don't have a choice here, BeBe.
Right.
This is what God told us to do. And for you to say, I was a black man in this situation, and I learned to pray for and love this now friend who at one time had racially profiled me or something like that.
Yes.
Then that helps us understand, hey, BeBe's learned how to do it. We can learn how to do it. And so let's get one of the most fun mornings we had was when all the guys had to write a song. Remember that morning? We were going through the Psalms, and everybody was praising and all this. And I said, guys, we don't praise enough. So next week, bring me
that was our homework.
Yeah, homework. Bring me 4 lines of your song.
As you know, I didn't even have to break a sweat.
No. But one or two of them were just.
It was great. It was great because it was, and this is what you challenge us all the time, to come out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
We have learned, we as the church, we have learned to live in our comfort zone. And it's a frightening experience. So I know all them guys went home.
We're breaking a sweat.
I know they wanted to call me and say, "Could you send me some help?"
Yeah, engineers, home builders, computer nerds, all out here trying to get 4 words to rhyme.
Oh, that was great. And then there's one in there who's smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's always writing.
Yeah.
I think one day I came in and I said, "I'm just bringing this. I'm not really going to write anything, but I'm tired of you looking like you're smarter than me." It's those moments that I know for me causes me to not want to miss.
Right.
And I know we can maybe see each other or call each other on the phone, but the experience of being together outweighs anything that you can do.
Yeah. Okay, BeBe, You are BeBe Winans.
Yes, I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yes.
You have what a lot of us want, what a lot of our people want. We want the platform. We want that. But yet, so tell me and tell our friends why they should be in a group.
Oh, man. So it's funny because it's a platform that I ran from. Mm-hmm. You know, I was born into this family that God had his hand on. It didn't start with me, but started with my father, started with his grandfather, who founded the church and built the church in Detroit, Michigan. And so to some degree, I wanted to run away from the responsibility that was placed on me. And then you just grow up, right? And then God just brings you to a place where he's given you a platform, but you understand there's a responsibility that comes with it. So those who are seeking for a platform, one of the things I always say to artists or anyone who wants to be in front of people is that your desire, there's nothing wrong with the desire to have a platform, but make sure it's where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Because what people don't understand, if you're a criminal and you get a platform, you're a platform criminal. And a lot more people gonna know you're a criminal.
Yeah, that's right.
So you really want God to prepare you for the platform. You know, singing all my life, my father used to tell us, you're not going to be the greatest singers. You're not the greatest singers in the world. He said, but you are going to be the most confident singers in the world. So understand the responsibility, become confident, because the last thing you want to do is to be on stage and look uncomfortable.
Right.
And look unprepared. It's going to turn people off. And most important, to be patient. Gosh, I learned such a value in being patient, because there's things as BeBe Winans still wants to do, right? But all that I said, it is so important that you are in a group of brothers or sisters that can challenge you and can sharpen you.
And keep you grounded.
Keep you grounded. And that's the thing about having a big family.
Yeah.
If you could grow up in my family, you can handle anything else that was coming.
Nobody else, right? No matter what.
You talking about grounded. We could keep you grounded. But people change. It's not so much that you change with the platform. People change around you.
Right.
And you have to understand how to handle that. That can be hard.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, bud, having you in my life brings me a lot of joy and a lot of fun.
Do you remember how we met?
Yeah.
That was a wonderful day in the gym. That's why it's important to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, wait a minute. You're pastor of, I come there sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I told everybody, oh yeah, Pastor Mike goes to, this gym. He doesn't lift weights.
No.
But he goes. He has a trainer. But they just have a conversation.
Yeah. All right, we got to get out of here now on that. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you've got to be in a group of brothers and sisters who hold you up and who hold you accountable. Life is hard, and sooner or later, it will get you. And you won't make it unless you've got a group around you. And I pray God will lead you to that group soon if you're not already there. This is BeBe Winans. I am Mike Glenn, president and founder of the Engaged Church Network. Thanks for being part of our podcast today. Thanks for tuning in to the Engaged Church Network podcast. We exist to train healthy and skilled leaders for congregations throughout Middle Tennessee. If today's episode helped you, share it with a fellow leader. And don't forget to visit engagechurchnetwork.com for more ways to grow.